Hello, today we are going to talk about refinishing and refurbishing your PEX surface on your Wham Bam kit. After a while your PEX surface might get a little bit contaminated and start to lose some of its bed adhesion, but have no fear, we can actually refurbish it and bring it back to new quality. So to do this, we're going to need a few different ingredients. Number one, we're going to need some isopropyl alcohol. Get the highest percent that you can from a drugstore like CVS or Walgreens. This is the 91%, it's absolutely fine. I do use an easy to use dispensing bottle, squeeze dispensing bottle. That just helps me because I use it between every print to clean my bed quickly. We'll also need some acetone. Just get the hardware store variety. Do not get the nail polish remover type because those might contain perfumes or other additives. We want pure acetone. Get some steel wool. Steel wool has a rating to it, just like sandpaper does. The 000 is pretty fine. The 000 is the super fine, and down below are rougher. The 000 is their good go-to grit in order to have open the pores, have good bed adhesion, but keep a very, very smooth surface. And we're also going to need fresh paper towel. You want to keep that on hand all the time. You'll want some hand protection if you're using acetone. You'll want some eye protection because we do not want to get any drips in your eyes. Now, what we do not want to get, you don't want to get scrubbing pads and scouring pads instead of steel wool. These usually contain either plastics or detergents or other additives to help in the kitchen, and those would just contaminate your surface. We also do not want to use sandpaper instead of steel wool because sandpaper is made of a grit surface, usually silica, with binders or glues. And all of that can go out back into your PEX sheet and contaminate it. So we're just not going to use those at all. Let's get down to the process and I'll show you what we do in order to refurbish the Wham Bam kits. Let me just get on some protection. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the acetone. Now, acetone is a very strong solvent, so be careful with it. The good thing is it does not hurt the PEX. The PEX is very similar to PEI in chemical resistance. It does not hurt the PEX, but your 3M glue underneath could be damaged by the acetone. So you don't want excessive amounts seeping through the edges of the plate. You also don't want liquid acetone to get onto your flexible magnet. So you want to make sure your piece is completely dry before transferring it over to the machine. So I'll just pour a little bit of acetone on the surface and I will take my steel wool and I'll make nice circles. Just go around the whole PEX surface, trying to kind of buff it. What I'm doing is I'm scraping off any of the contaminants, plastics, finger oils, any other dirt and dust that might have accumulated on there while I'm opening the pores of the material. Okay, once that's done, you could do that for a minute or so until you have a nice smooth finish on there. Once that's done, I'll use some isopropyl alcohol and I'll do the same thing. I'm just basically trying to get the dust and the dirt that I put in when I was using the acetone out of those pores and really polish up the surface. Okay, and lastly, we're going to clean it. To clean it, we're going to need 2 sheets of paper towel, fresh paper towel. It's important to use fresh paper towel because, once again, you don't want to contaminate your surface. So I'll hit it with some more alcohol, and I'll take some paper towel, and just getting off all the basically sawdust, and dust from using the steel wool previous to this. And then I'm going to throw that piece away. I'm going to do it one more time with a fresh piece of paper towel and alcohol. Once that I'm done that, lastly, I'm going to clean the backside, just so I make sure that none of the solvents brought anything else to the backside of the plate and keep it nice and clean. You do want to make sure you're not getting fingerprints on the front of the PEX. If you have gloves, it should be okay, but you might want to just repass over it. Now your plate has been completely refurbished. You might notice some hazing over time from use. That's not the PEX, that's actually the 3M glue. Have no fear that doesn't hurt the performance at all. It's just an aesthetic marking. Since the PEX is so clear, we see that. But your sheet is ready to go. As soon as the backside is dry, and both alcohol and acetone evaporate very quickly, you can put that right back on your machine and get to printing. So enjoy.